But Honorable Ssegirinya, Right Honorable Speaker, how did he become an MP? And why is he here? We had just started a young party, barely 5 months. And the party was faced with a difficult choice in Kawempe North. The incumbent MP, my brother, Honorable Latif Sebagala, was also seeking a re-election. The organizing secretary of the party, my brother Sulaiman Chidandala, was also seeking the party ticket. And the humble Ssegirinya. Now the party had a choice to make. But in one of the discussions, and I hope the president will excuse me for doing this, in one, Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu of the National Unity Platform. In one of the discussions, and I think together with the Secretary General and the leadership of the party, we asked a fundamental question. What is the National Unity Platform for? And what does it represent? And whom does it serve? It boiled down, Right Honorable Speaker, it boiled down that the National Unity Platform was for the downtrodden, for the commonest of people. And we asked, who are the people that represent them? And there was no debate. Honorable Ssegirinya represented what the best of our party represented. And in virtue of that, a decision was taken to give him the party ticket. And from that, he became a member of parliament. So we would like to thank the president of the National Unity Platform and the leadership of the National Unity Platform for taking a bold decision that finally gave us Honorable Ssegirinya. Right Honorable Speaker, I've known him since he was a young man. We trained quite a number of young people. And I think I was asking Asmani Basalirwa whether he attended our training every Saturday, by then at the Democratic Party. So many MPs here had gone through that. And that's why the National Unity Platform also is having a school to train young people. And there was an attempt by the authorities that be to close that school. The only way we can have more of the Ssegirinya is to pick them up and train them, mentor them, and give them to the country called Uganda. And we hope to continue doing the same. Lastly, Right Honorable Speaker, let's be courageous enough. Maybe Ssegirinya, maybe, would have lived longer. Yeah. Had the authorities, and especially, let's be bold, had the president not intimidated the judiciary. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, General, he bold judiciary to the extent that the judicial officers feared to give bail to Ssegirinya and his likes. Let us speak true to Mr. Museveni. Let us speak true to the powers that be. That what is given in the Constitution cannot be taken away by a declaration. Uganda cannot return to the days of Idi Amin. The attempts now to take away bond, bail, for whatever nature, courtesy of the pronouncements of the President, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and we must say enough is enough. Honorable Ssegirinya, rest in eternal peace.
Thank you. I want to where Ssegirinya came from before he came to know. Council Yusuf. Council Yusuf. Yeah, I'll come to Saba Crystal. Council Yusuf. I am going to give you people to speak.
Thank you very much. Right Honorable
when I tell you I know Ssegirinya more than some of you. Yes.
Right Honorable Speaker, thank you very much for this opportunity. Honorable members, I also condole the family on behalf of the FDC party, where I'm the whip and where we believe that actually we nurtured and mentored Ssegirinya. Right Honorable Speaker has rightly pointed out, we can claim Ssegirinya as opposition. At FDC, Ssegirinya can actually firmly say passed through our hands. He was part of the young activists who are trained to have a change for the better for this country. And most times you would actually see Ssegirinya behind all pictures where Dr. Besigye was leading that crusade. I can say as Deputy President then, and also the head of the youth, as their patron, Ssegirinya was always very humble and obedient to all instructions of change. Without any pay, he was actually volunteering. And with young men like Walidi, these are people you could just call on and say, please do this, go do this, don't do this. And they were really obedient. So for the country and those seeking for change, it is a very big loss. However, Ssegirinya has not died in vain. All his shortcomings, especially academic, notwithstanding, he was always available for the poor and needy. In fact, when he converted to Islam, I can firmly say to my boss, Honorable Asman, he consulted me and one Haji called Matov in Wandegea. And he said, I want to convert to Islam because this faith is for the poor and needy. I said that cannot be the only consideration. You should also think about hereafter. I said, no, let me start with that. So when he started that school, he also contacted me through a doctor called Dr. Umar, who is at that hospital opposite the golf course near Fairway. And he said, the little money that I've gotten, I want to put it in this hospital for the poor. So I think, as the Right Honourable Speaker pointed out, we fail to address that. We are all seeking for votes for self-aggrandizement. But you can see a man with a poor background, but thinking about the community. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. On behalf of the FDC, we shall miss him, but we shall carry on with the crusade that he anticipated to see, and we promise change will come.
Francis, then Lucy.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, the man lying before us here, the late now Honourable Ssegirinya, it is indeed very painful to the country at large that we've lost such a darling of the people. Honourable Ssegirinya has been a very close friend, very close to me, because there are very many things we have in common. He's an activist, he has been one, and I have been one as well. And I am still one.
And you're still one.
Right Honourable Speaker, it's been unfortunate this morning that still government was unable to stand with Ssegirinya, because we all believe and know during his political life, especially MPship, it has been persecution from still this government. But I need to beseech the government and still call upon the government, there is still time. You can stand with Honorable Ssegirinya in just two ways. First and foremost, to drop the charges, but most importantly, to bail out all the political prisoners in prisons in Uganda. I've always been, for the 2 years Honorable Ssegirinya and Honorable Ssewanyana spent in prison, I put down all my nice suits, just like one I've put on today, and decided to wear free all political prisoners, written on all my clothes. For those 2 years, I call upon government to free all political prisoners, but most importantly, to bail them out as they are being tried for us, what we call the persecution. That is very simple. But most importantly, General Museveni can still do something very, very, very great to the people of Uganda. For this reason, because Ugandans believe Honorable Ssegirinya died because of Mr. Museveni intimidating the judiciary not to bail out Honorable Ssegirinya. Everyone believes that. So let General Museveni at least this time give Ugandans the most important gift and not stand in 2026. I thank you.
Thank you so much. Honorable members, as we pay our tribute, one thing that we must not forget, that Honorable, just like even the Lord had said, Honorable Ssegirinya had his long illness. Let's not forget that. Maybe there was a lapse somewhere, but he had his long illness. Lucy, then Honorable Kawalia, then I come this side also.
Thank you.
You're going to speak.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to pay tribute to a colleague. My deepest condolence to the family. Madam Speaker, I am going to speak on basically two issues. One, what do I learn from this friend of ours? When God gives you an opportunity, use it to the fullest. You don't need 100 years to make a change. And that is exactly what Honorable Mohamad did. Two, I want to repeat the words of the Archbishop Emeritus, John Baptist Odama. On the 14th of December this last year, 2024, when he was celebrating his 50th priestly anniversary in Gulu Cathedral, these were his appeal to the government of Uganda, that please, in the interest of peace in this country, release political prisoners who have been in prison, who have been in remand without proper trial. These were his words. If you go back, you can watch this video. This was an appeal from the man of peace himself. And on that day, he launched a very important book entitled, Stop Fighting, Start Talking. How I wish as a country we would talk more and stop fighting. We would have less death. I know my brother had his I know my brother had an illness, but if he was helped properly, maybe in time he would not be where he is. Personally, I visited Chitalia. I visited some of the political prisoners. I am telling you, if you're not strong-hearted, you will not stay there for long. None of us wants to be there. And I don't pray that any of us ends up there. And what you do for yourself, actually, we should practice what we call self-love. If you don't want it to be done to you, don't do it to somebody else.
Thank you.
As a Catholic, I am proud of my brother. Yes, he converted to Islam. But, Madam Speaker, I am reliably informed.
But the whole family is Catholic.
Yes, that's what I was coming to. He accepted that the rest of the family can maintain. And that is, for me, the spirit of ecumenism and harmony in the family. Thank you so much. May God bless you. And as a Catholic, I think Archangel Michael has just recruited an army man. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. In the VIP gallery, we have Honorable Akol Rose Okulo, a member of the East African Legislative Assembly, and she's also my very good voter. Thank you. Honorable Kawalia.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
It is still your people speaking. Why don't you sit?
I rise to pay tribute to our fallen comrade, whom I got to know in 2007 through activism. We used to share a lot, but again, I also got the opportunity to serve with him at City Hall. When we had just joined in 2016, he was a member of the Standing Committee of Physical Planning, which I was chairing at that time, but it was always fun. We joined KCCA when it had a lot of challenges, most especially when it came to trade order. There's a time when the former executive director of Kampala, then Jennifer Msisi, wanted to send off all the boys who were operating on the streets of Kampala when government had no plan to relocate them. We fought tirelessly with him. For those who remember, that is the period when he committed himself, also turned himself to be a market vendor. He had passion for the common man. No wonder God had to pay him. I want to thank the Almighty God who turned Honorable Ssegirinya from the lowest of the low. We used to share a lot, and we had so many issues in common. One of them is that we had both lost our dear fathers when we were still very young. His commitment to fight for freedom for this country was real. For those who think that Honorable Ssegirinya was a comedian, it is very wrong. He wanted to see a new Uganda. My message goes to government, because we all know what transpired. Honorable Ssegirinya went to prison so many times. He was not charged for theft. He wasn't charged for defilement, but he was always being charged for fighting for the common man. I call upon all leaders in this country, let us try to put our country first, as how Honorable Ssegirinya has always been doing. We are going to miss him, most especially as the people of Kampala. And lastly, Right Honorable Speaker, when we are contesting for KCCA speakership for the first time, I contested with him. But he never had any personal vendetta with me. We stayed friends, and I recall even after the elections, he approached me and told me, okay, you have challenged me, but again, I want to serve on your council. We trusted him with the chairperson of the Public Health Committee, and for those who remember him, he spent almost a month running all places of Kampala, celebrating on how he was being appointed as the chairperson of the Standing Committee of Public Health. We are going to miss you. May your soul rest in eternal peace. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Nambose, then we can have Honorable Kinovere, Honorable Macho, Honorable Evander, Propua, then the Minister.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I stand to support the motion before this House. And I want to appreciate you, Right Honorable Speaker, for appointing this day and time to give Parliament a moment to send off our brother with honor. Right Honorable Speaker, I stand here as one of the MPs who has been sick most of this term. And I want to thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for standing with us and making sure that we get treatment both locally and internationally. Right Honorable Speaker, some people think that it is fun to travel for treatment, especially people outside there. As much as we sympathize with other Ugandans who cannot afford to go for specialized treatment outside the country, I want to tell colleagues that it is quite very difficult and very challenging to be seeking treatment outside one's country. In certain areas, you are greatly limited by the fact that not every other locality where you seek treatment that people understand the English. And it is not easy to leave one's family and go camp in another foreign country. People end up mocking us, demonizing us, including colleagues, Right Honorable Speaker. That's why I want to thank you specifically for standing with us. And just one more. Right Honorable Speaker, having said that, I want also to remind this House that we passed money to construct Lubowa Hospital. We had been told that that work would be completed in 2 years. It is now several years after, and Lubowa Hospital still remains a dream. There are so many other Ugandans who lack specialized treatment, but it is very difficult for one to go through the medical council to get the money, and even just the element of getting an airline that accepts to transport a sick person from Uganda. It is very, very difficult to get that airline to accept you to take one when you are sick. Lastly, I want to request colleagues not to join the president in his quest to abolish bond, police bond, and bail. The presumption of innocence should always remain, because, Madam Speaker, it is so sad when you have to battle a disease while at the same time battling for your freedom. A whole medical doctor from the prisons gave Honorable Ssegirinya a recommendation that if this man is not let out of the prison, he will suffer consequences that will be fatal. It is so sad that even at one time these people were released and then kidnapped back to the prison. I think this is one moment where you people in government should stand up and say sorry. I understand Muslims, when they are going to be buried, they even call those people.
Thank you. Honorable Kinovere.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the people of Chibuku County, on my own behalf, I join my colleagues and the entire country as we pay tribute to our foreign colleague, Honorable Ssegirinya. Right Honorable Speaker, personally, I knew Honorable Ssegirinya as the moment we joined the 11th Parliament. But initially, I could follow his political issues because he's my area MP in Kawempe, much as I don't represent Kawempe. Speaker, when we came here, Honorable Ssegirinya asked me something. Actually, that day was with Honorable Bashir. He came to me and asked me, Honorable Chinovere, I hear you have a hospital. I want to put up a small hospital for my people. And I was like, isn't this a way of Honorable Ssegirinya, because I've been following you? I said, no, I want to come and visit your hospital. I want to benchmark. I wasn't hesitant. He visited my hospital. When he came to my hospital, he said, no, this is what I want something simple. This is too big for me. But I want something where people can be able to come, get free services. Women can be able to come and get antenatal, because sometimes our government hospitals are congested. He said, no, but you can copy a leave, then you adjust accordingly. I want to thank Honorable Ssegirinya. He went ahead, came up with a very simple facility, just in Chebando here. He even asked me, come and visit my facility. Indeed, I went and visited that facility. I visited that facility in Chebando. It was a very simple setup, fully licensed, with qualified health workers. Right now, just only 1 minute. People who were going to that facility, they were not only opposition, it was about service delivery. So I pray that however the technical person was managing that facility, we should not kill it, let it remain there to serve our people.
Thank you.
Sickness has no border. Honorable Speaker, we continue to pray that may his soul rest in eternal peace.
Thank you, Macho.
Thank you. Madam Speaker and my colleagues.
We are going to reduce to 1 minute.
Madam Speaker and colleagues, I'll speak in the Busia style. Madam Speaker and colleagues, I join my colleagues and the rest of the country to pay a tribute to the lost hero. Honorable Ssegirinya was a great friend because he had character of the people of Busia border. I would say so because he was a leader who had qualities that voters want. Madam Speaker, you have given me 1 minute, but in Busia, heroes don't die. Honorable Ssegirinya, honorable update. I want you to update God about this question. That Uganda, we are a country which in this century, we are still talking about denying our people bail and bond. Honorable Ssegirinya, the second update to God. Tell him that this is a country which is still taking civilians in military courts. Honorable Ssegirinya, update number 3. Report to God how you have been belonging to a mingled political party which is not organized. Honorable Ssegirinya, lastly, I want you to request God to bless the Speaker and the Commissioners for the support they have given you. And also request God to allow the Speaker to be the second National Vice Chairperson for our party because of her good heart. Lastly, Madam Speaker and my colleagues, words of living people when they are dead must be taken seriously. Madam Speaker, Honorable Ssegirinya, when he was still alive, there are some people he on his grave. Those people are now crying more than the relatives of Ssegirinya. Moreover, Ssegirinya, before he died, he told them, you authored a letter saying I am not sick, don't step on my grave.
Let's have order.
The words of Ssegirinya must be taken seriously.
Can you all sit?
Yes. You are for protection. When Honorable Ssegirinya was still sick, there are words he spoke, and I want those words to be respected on his grave. Madam Speaker, Honorable Ssegirinya, there are some people he listed in his party that they should never step on his grave because they ushered a letter saying he's pretending that he is sick. These people should not step on the grave of Ssegirinya because I saw them yesterday, Madam Speaker, when they are crying more. Why are they crying more than the relatives of Ssegirinya?
Thank you.
Why are they crying, Madam Speaker? I therefore request the imams who will lead the prayers to ban.
Honorable Banda. Honorable Banda. Honorable Evander, I'll give you Semakula.
Thank you so much, the Right Honorable Speaker and honorable colleagues. And on my own behalf and on behalf of people of Ntoroko and Rwenzori region, I also joined colleagues in paying tribute to our fallen comrade, Honorable Ssegirinya. The Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank you in a special way for standing with your members. You are a very exceptional leader I've seen in this country. May God bless you.
Amen.
And two, the Right Honorable Speaker,
Can we have
I joined Parliament. I was in the 10th Parliament. Thank God that now I'm in the 11th Parliament. When I met Honorable Ssegirinya, the man is humble, respectful. I didn't know about it because I used to see him on TV. I knew that he's chaotic. But when I met him here, the man was humble, respectful. You can't believe that was Ssegirinya we used to see on TV. So it means the man lived a humble life, sense of humor, which really I call upon all of us as members of Parliament to be humble.
And down to earth.
And down to earth. And two, constructing or setting up a health facility. The Honorable Speaker, some colleagues give reasons that I'm a first time in Parliament, you haven't known what to do, but Honorable Ssegirinya proved that statement wrong. That within few months in Parliament, he had to do something that was very impactful to his people. And lastly, it's about women. The Right Honorable Speaker, in this country, women are really suffering. Many families are being led now by women. Even in my constituencies, I've focused more on women because women are taking the burden. So focusing on women, empowering women was the way to go. And lastly, the Right Honorable Speaker, despite our political differences, but we are one family. We are one people. We should never at one time see each other as enemies. For me in this Parliament, even the opposition, we are brothers, we are sisters. Never at one time shall we look at each other as enemies, because we are Ugandans, we are leaders, we have one family Parliament. I wish my colleague, the comrade.
Thank you. Actually, because of the way we work in Parliament, yesterday, when you didn't see the leader of opposition, I deployed the leader of opposition whole day in Zambia. I mean in Rubaga. So somebody will say, why was the leader of opposition not there when they are passing the national budget, national development plan? But it's because it was deployed. I have had those sentiments. Yes, Propua.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable colleagues, as we send our condolences to the family, the party leaders of where Honorable Ssegirinya belonged.
Propua is Honorable Tinka Simire Barnabas.
We are here with a heavy heart about the death of our colleague, Honorable Ssegirinya. Honorable Ssegirinya, we met in Chevando, where I do some business, and he was consulting. I love your style of leadership as a member of Parliament, belonging to a party, and you are able to tell them the truth. And he said, I want to join you. I told him that you are most welcome, but you have to do ABCD. I told him you have to prepare yourself to actually be that member of Parliament who will not be compromised when you come in Parliament. And we agreed that he could start as a councillor at KCCA, get some money to support himself, such that when he is on the floor, when he joins Parliament, he's a bit decent, not rush for this money, the money that I'm talking about, and such that you can survive that blackmail. I am very, very happy that what we discussed from my business place in Chebando is what exactly Honorable Ssegirinya did. He came to Parliament with a vision of looking at the poor people. Allow me to another minute to eulogize a leader that we share the vision. He belonged to the opposition, but he shared the vision that I share of looking at the ordinary person. And indeed, he demonstrated it even when he was in opposition. Right, Honorable Speaker, I am saddened that he is dying in the crossfire of intolerant politics, where he would have received medical attention and he was denied bail, even when he cried that he should be allowed to go for treatment. That's very, very sad. Even when we say he has not been killed, in law there is a principle, thin sick principle, where you must explain somebody who is weak when he disappears in your hands. And this is what has happened to Mohamad, and the community is asking us as government, could we not have done better? I know, Right Honorable Speaker, Parliament did their best, but you did it too late, because this man required that treatment at the right time. It was too much already on him that you were just now literally like wasting resources because the time had run out. I will pray going forward that government should be sensitive on the rights of people they have sent on remand. If they seek bail to go for treatment, they must know that bail is part of Article 28
Switch on.
Of fair hearing. Because if I am in custody of police, I am on remand in prisons, it does not take away my right to defend myself. And it is during that bail time that I can prepare my defense. Now we have Dr. Kizza Besigye in prison. How many times is this government going to imprison Dr. Kizza Besigye? Have we not had enough of imprisoning Dr. Kizza Besigye? If he died in prison, what would we explain to this country? What would we explain to this country? Why can't we produce him in courts where it's supposed to be produced? There are several constitutional rulings, even to the Supreme Court level, requiring that civilians should be tried in military, in civil courts. Why is he still being tried in the military court? This type of torture to receive coffins of Ugandans is not the type of politics that I would want to practice when I'm a member of parliament of the ruling party. I want to engage and win an election, not by military institutions and coercion.
Thank you, Aleper.
May you rest in eternal peace. Ssegirinya.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for affording me this opportunity to pay tribute to the late Honorable Ssegirinya. Many people have spoken about how they came to know him, and personally, the closest I came to know him is through the video excerpts I watched when we were migrating from analog. That's the time I saw someone passing his message. He didn't care whether the English was not fluent. He would pass the message and everyone would really pick it. And I think that's what we require. Sometimes we really feel we must package the information we want to pass in a specific way. But what matters is if the other side of the communication platform can get it. That's the closest I got to it. Everyone has spoken that actually the time he spent in Parliament was so short. But probably and most likely, he has done a lot more than most of us here for their constituency. Yes, really, you can show the litany of achievements that have been narrated. And I think that's something that's so commendable that we should appreciate of him. But I want to say most importantly, we are here as representatives of the people, representing people with our parties. But I think the most important thing that we are humans, and our service delivery is the humanity. And I think Honorable Ssegirinya has done this. He has done service to humanity, given the short time. It is not the time that we spend in a place that matters. It's the best that we can do, which I think he has done. May his soul rest in peace.
Thank you. Sechi, Uda, Bunyoro, Imam. Minister, you'll speak last.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. And I rise to pay my condolences to the family of the late Honorable Mohamad Ssegirinya, the relatives, friends, and colleagues, members of Parliament. Right Honorable Speaker and members, we yet stand here under very, very difficult circumstances of paying tribute to a honorable member of Parliament who walked to this house and was sworn in but has not served even one term to its completion. It is sad. And to me, I'm looking at the circumstances that has led to his demise. Right Honorable Speaker and members, it isn't the late Honorable Ssegirinya in these circumstances alone, but all of us are potential detainees, all of us. I know for sure I was supposed to have been arrested on the 13th of December last year under framed up charges. There are strong people in this country had written a report and submitted it to the president, accusing me of murder, accusing me of land grabbing, and all sorts of things. And there is a private secretary to the president, one Susan Kasinje, whom the president had invited us to attend that meeting in State House. But he excluded me and allowed my accusers to be before the president. And they made their case. And they went through their channels to write reports, say, Your Excellency, we are waiting your orders. But fortunately, the president thought twice. He sent another set of investigators and the CID headquarters, where I would have been arrested for murder. Not one person, but 3 persons. And all that. But the point I'm trying to raise is that the state is a leviathan, huge, with many actors. The president comes in, being the one on top, and who really, in the circumstances, bears responsibility. But in most cases, there are those who work behind the scenes, and they write such reports, and they frame up people, innocent people, like we have the Ssegirinya. Why must the arresting officers and the prosecution arrest, then start investigations? Ideally, why don't you investigate, have a case, and then you arrest so that the accused can have his day in court or her day in court? And this we are failing. Right, Honorable Speaker and members, the profile of Uganda as a country is going down because of such incidents. It is. And why on earth? What is Dr. Besigye doing in those military cells? These are the issues. Must we have another person to die under these circumstances? Why are we doing so badly, Madam Speaker and members? I think these should be learning experiences. That's why, with a sad heart, I shouldn't be standing here. Probably I would also be in very similar circumstances. Right, Honorable Speaker and members, yes, death is a must. But his must have been exacerbated by his long stay on remand in jail. And even the judiciary abandoned its cardinal mission of being the temple of justice. We must check all ourselves. Those agencies within government who write and give fake reports and end up embarrassing the president, and then end up embarrassing government and embarrassing all of us. Because for the last 2 years, when they were in detention, why didn't the state adduce evidence and have them produced before courts of law? And also, I want to agree with Honorable Nambozi. This tinkering with the constitution on provisions that are critical to Ugandans. Why must you remove bail, yet you know the investigative machinery of the country is still nascent? It isn't solid. Why must you move against the bond in a country where the state institutions and apparatus are still fragile? So I think we need to take caution as members of parliament. We are not doing, internationally, we are not doing well. Our rating is going down, and now culminating into the abduction of Besigye. He's now being tried in Makindye. We can't find the way out. Looking at Dr. Besigye behind bars with his big eyes, you can't look at the photos again. It is a disgrace to this.
Thank you. Thank you, honorable members. In the VIP gallery, we have Honorable Muyanja Senyonga. You're most welcome. Thank you for coming. We also have a condolence message to the family of the late Ssegirinya from the Parliamentary Pension Scheme, and enclosed is 2 million shillings. We'll pass on the document, and Honorable Aisha, you'll make sure that this man is delivered, since you're a member of the pension. And then we also have a condolence message to the family of Honorable Diri Babadiri, Margaret, also enclosed is 2 million shillings. This money should be rerouted to the family. I had the Honorable Uda.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. I want to join members to pay tribute to late Mohamad. Right Honorable Speaker, I didn't really come closely to late Mohamad, but I just know him in social media. In this house, we are more than 500 people now. But because Honorable Ssegirinya was very active, almost all the members of parliament know him. While we have stayed here for 4 years, we still don't know ourselves, each other. But because he was very active, he made sure that everybody knows him. And really that is his contribution. Some of us will finish the 5 years here. You get in the streets and you don't know each other and you pass by. But nobody could do that one for Honorable Ssegirinya. Right Honorable Speaker, the faith I subscribe to, that is Islam, strongly believes that you only die when it is your day. And it also says that when God designed that human beings would die, he directed angel Gabriel that you will be the one to get off the spirit from the person. But when Gabriel feared, he said, how will I do it? He said, I will help you to do it. And he has arranged it, like the one for Ssegirinya. He arranged it that time will come, you will pass. But for me to believe that you have passed because you overstayed in jail, given the opportunity of the right, I will make sure that you remain in the jail. Then Gabriel will come and take the spirit. Then people will say you died because of this. But if you are a believer, you will know that it is the time. That's why we have passed. And for us, that is it. Unless you are not a Muslim, there are Muslims here who will support what I'm saying. But if you are not a Muslim, then please keep quiet. Allow the Muslims to talk. Right Honorable Speaker, for us as Muslims, when somebody passes, there are rituals that we must follow. And one of them is the respect that you give for the person who died. There are prayers that we must do. There are even a guidance of how you acknowledge the person who passes. So that when you talk, you also get a thwab, and the person you talk for also get a thwab. Now this is what we are supposed to do for our brother here. He has suffered with the sickness for long, but now we must do all these rituals, like the prayers that we must do, and we must continue to pray that even if he had his shortcomings, we ask God to forgive him and give him a Jannah, because that's all where we are going to. My brother Mohamad, may you rest in peace.
Thank you. Thank you. Bunyoro Affairs.
Right,
Imam.
Honorable Speaker, and mourn for our own friend. We should be given an opportunity to mourn.
Can you sit?
Just
He's
because
a
you
member
don't
of parliament. He's a member of parliament of this house.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. On behalf of the people of Chibuku, whom I represent in this house, and the people of Bunyoro, where I'm deployed as a minister, I bring my condolences, especially to you, Right Honorable Speaker, the House, Mama Ssegirinya and the family, the people of Kawempe North. It's very, very unfortunate that we are losing a younger person.
I pity when some people start behaving funny on a special sitting. I really pity. This Honorable Ssegirinya belongs to this house, not to a party. When you're in the house here, and I am balancing the sides. Yes.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker.
By the way, I have the power even to adjourn the house. Honorable Minister.
Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable Ssegirinya is one of the people I admired. He was a very courageous person. One time I saw Honorable Ssegirinya when a young lady lost a baby, and the purported father was refusing to bury that child. Honorable Ssegirinya carried a dead child in a coffin on his head and looked for that man. To bury the child. That kind of courage is rare. But also, Honorable Ssegirinya was a serious mobilizer. Even in his constituency, he loved his voters. You remember when he offered that every woman that delivers was entitled to offers. But also building a health facility. Colleagues, you all remember, or you know, service delivery in terms of health provision is not cheap. For one to build a facility, buy drugs,
let's be brief, we are
pay the medical workers is not easy. So I salute Honorable Ssegirinya. It's a big loss to the country. May God sustain the bereaved family.
Thank you. Honorable Imam of the mosque, Honorable Mpindi Mitiana Gorete, and then Semakula.
Yeah, thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
But I thought you're on one side. Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I wish to add my voice to the rest of the members and condole with the family and the people of Kawempe North constituency for the demise of our brother, the late Honorable Mohamad Ssegirinya. As the Imam of the Muslim Parliamentary Caucus, we have lost a committed and dedicated brother whom we thought would interact with and contribute a lot to the act. But we thank Allah that gave him this time on earth and for all that he has managed to do while alive. Right Honorable Speaker, death is a menu that everybody will taste, regardless of status, whether a member of parliament or whether a common man outside there, everybody will have to taste that menu. And whoever wishes death for others, just to know that at any time it will knock on your door.
Thank you.
I had an opportunity, Right Honorable Speaker, during COVID. I visited the two people in Kigo prison as the Imam, and I had an interaction of about an hour. What surprised me was that even at that time, when he was in prison, he unveiled to me a detailed plan of his dream that he wanted to implement in his constituency. I was so surprised that someone who was in prison, who was thinking so much about the people in his constituency. That means he had a lot of passion for the people he was serving. Nevertheless, even when he was released,
Honorable members, 1 minute.
His health had deteriorated and he would not implement that plan. May the Almighty Allah pardon him for his shortcomings and give him Jannah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
1 minute.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, being a resident of Kawempe, I have a lot to talk about Ssegirinya. But you have given me 1 minute, and I want to use it in just two things. One, members have submitted, but Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable Ssegirinya has a family. And as you've heard, his family is not doing well. He has left children, and we are almost concluding the debate without devising means of helping the family, the children. I want to propose that as we pass the resolution, we include a clause that this parliament find means of helping the children of the Honorable Ssegirinya. That is one. And then two, I know as members of parliament we have a norm of contributing to members who have died. I pray that as members of parliament, each of us contribute 500,000 and we get some money to support the family, especially the wives of Honorable Ssegirinya, to take on the mantle that Ssegirinya was taking on. The children of Ssegirinya. Right Honorable Speaker, for me, if that is done, I will be a very happy man. I saw...
Can you conclude?
Right Honorable Speaker, the clerk was taking your attention, but my proposal, we contribute either 500, one member is telling me 1 million, 500 each member.
You know, when we pass a resolution here to contribute for Honorable Jacob, you are the same people. You are the same people who went in the streets, who started bashing the speaker, who started doing the what. My proposal is let's contribute personally. Let's contribute. For me, I can take up one kid and educate one kid in my school. After this, look for me and I will take up one kid. Ssegirinya, where is Ssegirinya? In which class? Exactly. I will pay your fees and I will take you to my school for secondary.
Right, Honorable Speaker, thank you so much. And I want to conclude by thanking you for what you've done to Honorable Ssegirinya and what you've done to members of Parliament without discriminating the political belief, the size, the constituency. Thank you so much. Thank you, and may you reign forever.
Amen.
Thank you, Right Honorable. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I would like to first of all appreciate Ssegirinya's mother and his brother, Kasaga, because, Right Honorable Speaker, when someone faces challenges, many times even your family can abandon you. Ssegirinya and the Honorable Sewanyana were incarcerated. I went to Masaka where they were brought to court. I went to Luzira. I went to Chigo. He began to be sick, and I went to Nsambia. I went to Nairobi and Lubaga, and those two were constant. Thank you so much for being there for Honorable Ssegirinya. Right Honorable Speaker, I met Ssegirinya when I was still a journalist, and this is what I wanted to say about Ssegirinya. The Honorable Ssegirinya was very authentic, he was real, he was genuine, he was honest, even in times of his need. Because when I met him, he used to call on radio stations as Dobozire Chebando. And one time when I was doing a story about those radio phone callers, I spoke to him, I spoke to Makolo Kavuma and Dubachoya. And he was demonstrating to me about what they used to do to get through, because I was asking them, how come you people are so constant on the radio stations? And he showed me about 8 phones. He would call at the same time, whichever went through first, he would speak. That was Ssegirinya. Then, I remember the time he used to be with Dr. Kizza Besigye. In fact, it's very sad that Colonel Kizza Besigye is in prison, because Ssegirinya was always with Colonel Kizza Besigye. And then he would come to me. At a certain point, I was an editor of a TV station. So he would come to me and beg and kindly let me finish.
Honorable members, we have run out of time because the body must go for Juma prayers.
I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
I take this opportunity to appreciate you, your office, the office of the Leader of Opposition.
That is the size-mate, yes.
And all honorable colleagues, members of Parliament, for standing with the Honorable Ssegirinya during this moment.
Thank you.
Every one of you has appreciated the works of Honorable Ssegirinya. But I want to remind you that that is the responsibility of government. Right Honorable Speaker, we should put appropriate resources in the area of medical. He has bought CT scans. That is not our responsibility. This is why we are suffering out there. That is social corporate responsibility that you should do at leisure. So government should take on its responsibility of doing basic services to this government. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. May his soul rest in eternal peace.
Thank you, Honorable Semakula, Honorable Minister.
Dear women within Parliament and outside there, we appreciate you.
Ladies.
Basing on what the mother of Honorable Ssegirinya, the late Honorable Ssegirinya, has done. In the Holy Book of the Bible, in the book of Ecclesiastes, it is written, there is time for everything. There is time to be born and time to die. There is time to be happy and a time to be sad. However, my special message goes to the judiciary. Dear our land friends, where did your Ubuntu go? In Uganda, we know bail is not a privilege. It is a right. But these days we hear you are working under decrees. Where did your Ubuntu go? Lastly, Right Honorable Speaker, we appreciate all you give to members, all whatever you give to members of Parliament. But however, as we Parliament, we should work for free medical insurance for every Ugandan, regardless of your status. May your soul rest eternal peace.
Flavia, then Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Flavia, your minute is going.
Thank you. Sincere condolences to the family of the Right of Honorable Ssegirinya. May God rest his soul in peace. I really want to bring to light two scenarios that particularly caught my attention. One was for the mother of Honorable Ssegirinya, when she wailed in court at some point when Honorable Ssegirinya exposed his foot that had been tortured in court and was requesting to be released so that he could go and get medication. The mother wailed loudly in court, unfortunately, pleading to the magistrate to release her son so that she could go. Unfortunately, he was never released. A second scenario was when the mother wept, crying, coming to Parliament to ask the Speaker and to ask members of Parliament to intercede so that her son could be released.
Thank you.
Those two scenarios come to light, and I want to ask the people that are watching us right now, eulogize Honorable Ssegirinya, what they think about the children of Honorable Ssegirinya and the parents of Honorable Ssegirinya. Had they been in the position of those two, what would they have done? Where do they think their kids are going to go? How do they think their kids are going to look at the children of the tortured Ssegirinyas children? Which country are we passing on, and are we passing on to our children? Honorable Ssegirinya, fight hard. May your soul rest in peace. Thank you very much.
Honorable Minister. You people, I don't want to get a curse when the body is not prayed for.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker and the honorable members. I rise to support the motion to pay tribute to our foreign colleague, and on behalf of the people of Chinchiz East, I convey condolences to the family, the mother, and the family of Ssegirinya, Honorable, to you, the Speaker of Parliament, and all members of Parliament, because this is our colleague, to the members of the National Unity Platform Party where he belonged, and the entire opposition, and the people of Kawempe North, whom he represented in this House. Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable Ssegirinya made his name through activism, and many of us knew him before coming to Parliament, because he was very active in the public space, and people would always say that man might end up in the Parliament, as if he should not be in the Parliament, and indeed he came to the House. When he came to the House, he was a member of Parliament who reached out to anybody and everybody, irrespective of where you stood. For instance, he approached me and said, Honorable Baryomus, I know you from the public. I have a wife who hails from your constituency in the village of Kambuga. So I am your in-law. And yes, and we began relating as such. So we, the people of Kanungu, he was our son-in-law. He's our son-in-law, and we have lost our son. I think there are many lessons that we draw from the life of the Honorable Ssegirinya, that you can rise from a humble background and rise to any position as long as you know what you want. Because he rose through political and media activism and became a member of Parliament. I would also like to salute him for his spirit of altruism, concern for the others, because as we heard from the many eulogies and as we knew him, even when he served as a member of Parliament for a short time, but he was on the ground trying to address the concerns of the people of his constituency, and we salute him for that. Right Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Ssegirinya had an incurable medical illness even before he came to Parliament. And indeed, even before we were sworn in, he fell sick, and I think he was even hospitalized. So he came to the House when he was sick. It was unfortunate that he was imprisoned together with the Honorable Ssegirinya, Sewanyana, rather. And I remember even his long time on remand concerned some of us. I think this is the Honorable Sarigwa or Mohamad Chivumbi, where we discussed it at some point. I also know that being in prison, it depressed him so much that at one point he even refused to take medication until when we had to come in and counsel him as a medical doctor. So we're in touch with him, and we really feel sorry that he has died when he had not accomplished his assignment as a member of Parliament for the five years. Madam Speaker, allow me to make comments on some of the issues which have been raised in this debate. Many of them, I think we have time and space as members of Parliament to debate them, the nature of politics, human rights, all these issues. We have time to discuss them as members of Parliament, but probably allow me to speak on two issues, bail and bond. The President, the President, Yoweri Museveni, has an opinion that maybe bail should be denied on some offenses, as an opinion. But that opinion, I have heard him say, I will engage the Chief Justice to see whether maybe there can be practice directives or what. But this has not been translated into law.
Honorable members, let's listen. An opinion is not law.
Yeah, absolutely. This is what I'm saying. You had your time to speak, I am now speaking. You see, the problem, Madam Speaker, that we have in this country is intolerance. We should be able to listen to each other. My view may not be the same as yours, but you should give me a chance to say what I want to say. And as we move forward, Madam Speaker, we should, as members of Parliament and political leaders, promote that culture of tolerance even when our views are different. So on that issue of bail, it's an opinion that he has been holding, but if it was to be so at the end, it will come here, either through amendment of the Constitution or the laws. And I don't think any judicial officer currently is designated to fail to make a decision, because the law still gives judicial officers discretion to decide on matters of bail when cases are before them. So a judicial officer worth his name should be able to make a judgment, make a decision depending on the case before him or her. And I'm sure the lawyers in this House agree. The other issue that has been raised is that maybe government and judiciary should consider maybe dropping charges against the Honorable, the co-accused, Honorable Sewanyana and the co-accused.
I think that is something that we should discuss later.
Yes, yes.
On the issues of political prisoners.
Nothing useful to say.
That's what I'm saying. We take note of that request.
Take your seat, sir.
You know, that.
Doctor, you finish? Switch on.
I will convey this to the Attorney General to have an engagement with the judiciary. We have taken note of that concern raised by the members of Parliament.
I think we should also have a date when we shall discuss the issue of the political prisoners.
Okay.
Let's have a date. And
we shall have a
discuss.
debate on even whether that terminology is correct of political prisoners. But that will be for another day. Lastly, Madam Speaker, like I said, the Honorable Ssegirinya had a wife from my constituency. I am not very sure of the children the wife has, but I also, as a member of Parliament for Chinchills East, take up one of the children.
Thank you.
Support the child for his or her education.
Thank you.
I thank you very much. May his soul rest in eternal peace.
Thank you so much. Honorable members, Honorable Ssegirinya has fought a good fight, and Ssegirinya Mohamad, Mr. Update, he has served humanity. He has been there for everybody, and he rose from grace to grace. If he tells you how he came from Masaka, how he boarded a Matoke truck, you will not believe it. Ssegirinya has come from very far, but we must thank God that he at least achieved what he wanted. And his humility speaks volumes. How we could learn, if we could learn something from the late Ssegirinya, it would make a change in all of us. When you hear that within those few months that he made an impact in Kawempe, he made an impact in his community, he made an impact in this country, then you must learn something. I want to put a question. Yes. Honorable members, and you're Muslim. You are the same person who is going to blame me for delaying with the body here.
Right, Honorable Speaker, that swallow for Janais is performed as long as the body has come anytime. So it is not delayed. May I make the amendment, ma'am? May I make the amendment, ma'am?
Yes.
May I make the amendment?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Well, Right Honorable Speaker, I sincerely appreciate your concern that when you persuaded members to contribute, we spoke in tongues outside. While I appreciate that.
Actually attacking me.
Yes, I appreciate your concern and it's regrettable. Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable Ssegirinya has served here 4 years. The difference between him and the Right Honorable Oulanya is that he had served here for several years, and therefore his package was big as a person. And as a Right Honorable Speaker, he also had an entitlement as a fallen Speaker of Parliament. Honorable Ssegirinya has only been here for 4 years, did not even have time to invest for his family. You can imagine the burden that the family is going to have. I've calculated, Right Honorable Speaker, if each one of us here sacrificed only 300,000 shillings, the family would collect 150 million shillings, which is good enough for them to be able to invest. I therefore would like to persuade my colleagues that we amend the motion to include that members of Parliament, each one of them, of us, contributes 300,000 shillings as a package to help the family of Honorable Ssegirinya. I submit.
Honorable members, is that seconded? No, you sit. Sit. I want secondment from this side. Seconded by Honorable Badiomusi, by Honorable Bahati, by the Imam, by Ibanda, by Bunyoro Affairs, by Honorable Uda, Honorable Balam, Honorable Gabriel, Honorable Minister Okasai, Rose, by the whole NRM side. So we are making a motion, and clerk should take note of this. Okay, I want to see those from this side also. Yes, I want to see the leader of opposition, the cow. Honorable Duru is not supporting. You better convince Honorable Duru to support, because I don't want to be taken to court. Supported by Hassan, by Honorable Chivumbi, by Honorable Asumani, by Honorable Abudu, by Honorable Seungu, by Honorable Elijah, Honorable Zake, Hildaman, Ethel, Madam Teacher, by the whole opposition. We are amending that one and all the independents. Yes?
Right Honorable Speaker, I concede to the amendment.
Thank you. Those in favor of the amendment say on the contrary nay. The ayes have it. I now put a question that that Parliament pays a glowing tribute to the late Honorable Ssegirinya Mohamad, a former member of Parliament of Kawempe Division North, and the tribute with amendment of payment of 300,000 per deduction per member of Parliament, as passed in the resolution here. Those in favor say on the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Anthems in reverse order. May we please rise? Please remain standing as the casket leaves the chamber. may resume your seats.
Honorable members, the parliamentary Muslim community would want to say a prayer for 1 minute outside there. We'll now adjourn the house, and I will request that only the sectoral committees will be sitting during this period, and we adjourn the house to 21st January.